Assalamu alaikum students. So in this lecture we will be learning about the three important concepts of mobilization. The first concept is of Maitland, second one is of Kelton-Bourne, and the third concept is the concept of mobilization with movement, which was given by the Mulligan and is supposedly the most effective mobilization technique. Before moving towards the concept of Maitland, we will be having an overview of some of the important terminologies that will help us to understand the dosage and grades of these mobilization. So basically the first is available range of motion. Let's suppose a joint can move towards 0 to 120 degree. 0 to 120 degree is the normal range of motion of that joint. So that is called as anatomical limit to which a joint can move. And let's suppose a patient comes to you and he can only move to a certain range, not reaching beyond it. For example, if a patient can move to 0 to 80 degree only, he is unable to complete the range of motion. So that 0 to 80 degree is called as the available range of motion, and beyond 80 there may be some pathology into the joint, there may be some adhesion that is not allowing the patient to move beyond 80 degree. So we call it as a point of tissue resistance or the range of tissue limitation. So beyond 80 and less than 120 degree there is the range of motion called as the tissue limitation, right? So that was three concepts: 0 to 120 degree, the normal anatomical limit; 0 to 80, the available range of motion which the patient basically allows you; and the tissue resistance beyond which patient cannot move further. Now when we talk about the Maitland concept of mobilization, there are very four grades of mobilization. The first grade talks about the small amplitude gliding, small amplitude oscillation techniques. Basically, the basis of the Maitland concept of mobilization is oscillations. He talks about oscillation. Kelton-Bourne talks about sustained glides, while the Maitland talks about oscillation. One thing that I want to make clear is that the joint range of motion, there are different types of movements at the joint. One is called as the normal range of motion, flexion, extension movement. The second one are called as accessory movements, and the mobilization techniques are particularly targeting the joint play movements, the gliding and sliding movements. So this example that I have given you, the range of motion to 0 to 120 degree, that was basically for understanding. But when we talk about the mobilization, we are talking about the range of motion to which a joint can glide or slide, the range to which a joint can glide or slide. And when we talk about resistance, is that beyond which the joint cannot glide and slide, because if a joint cannot glide and slide properly, there will be definitely the limitation of physiological range of motion. So I hope that is clear now. Okay. So when we talk about the grade 1 techniques are the small amplitude oscillation techniques. Now what do we mean by the small amplitude? Small amplitude mean that we are using the beginning of the range of motion. We are applying the technique at the beginning of available range of motion to which the patient can allow. Now we are, for example, if the patient can allow 0 to 80 degree, I will just apply the technique to 0 to 40 degree, not reaching beyond it, right? And into the grade 2, now I have moved to a larger amplitude comparative to the grade 1. For example, if initially I was applying into 0 to 40, now I move from 40 to 60, right? So that is the second grade. When we talk about the grade 3, now I am approaching the end of available range of motion. This was the end of available range of motion, and I am stressing slightly into the tissue resistance. That is the grade 3. Now the grade 4 techniques are again the small amplitude techniques, and now I am approaching the range of motion, stressing into the tissue resistance and stretching the joint capsule. These are the grade 4 mobilization techniques, right? Grade 1, we are applying very small amplitude oscillations, but they are very rapid, that resembles the manual vibration. Into the grade 2, we have our amplitude large as compared to the grade 1, and now we will again apply the rapid oscillations. Grade 3, that is again a larger amplitude, and we are stressing into the end of the range of motion. And into the grade 4, that is also smaller amplitude techniques. By smaller amplitude means that I will be moving towards the point of tissue resistance, I'll be approaching that tissue resistance point, and then I will be applying the tissue gliding techniques by not moving to it too much deep. My hand placement will be like this. It will be a stress into the tissue resistance, but it will not result into the larger amplitude. It will not sustain, it will not apply distraction, it will just apply oscillation at the end of that point of the range of motion and then stressing into the tissue resistance. So this was the grade 4. Grade 1, small amplitude at the beginning of the range. Grade 2, the larger amplitude into the somewhat middle of the available range of motion. Grade 3, end of the range of motion. And grade 4, stressing into the joint capsule and stressing into the tissue resistance point. So this was all about the Maitland. Now when we talk about the Maitland grade 1 and 2, they are very effective for pain relief as they are rhythmic oscillations, and the grade 3 and 4, as we are approaching the tissue resistance, so they are best for gaining the range of motion. Second concept is the concept of the Kelton-Bourne. When we talk about Kelton-Bourne, he talks about sustained techniques. He says that we will apply the distraction to the joint. Now there are two terminologies. One is distraction and other one is traction. Basically both of them means that we are separating the joint spaces. We are separating them, we are stretching them. So basically distraction is at 90 degree to the joint line. We are applying a distraction at right angle, while the traction is into the longitudinal axis of the joint line. So this was the basic concept. Now Kelton-Bourne also has the 3 grades of mobilization. As we have learned about the available range, so I will not repeat it again. He has the 3 grades of mobilization. The first grade is also known as loosen. Loosen, we are just applying the small amplitude distraction at the beginning of the range of motion, right? That just resembles the normal coherence force of the joint. Then there comes the grade 2. We are now applying the large amplitude distraction to the joint, and that is also called as the taking up the slack. That grade is also termed as the tighten grade, into which we are tightening the joint capsule. We are applying the distraction till the available range of motion, till the end of available range of motion. We know that if you take an example of the rubber band, and when we stretch the rubber band, it automatically tightens. When we stretch it beyond a limit, it tightens, right? Beyond which you cannot move it. So that is the second. Then there comes the stretch point. That is the third point. We have taken up the slack. Now into the grade 3, we have stretching the joint capsule, we have approached the tissue resistance, and now we are approaching the anatomical limit, not reaching that anatomical limit, not crossing that, but just reaching beyond the point of tissue resistance. So this was the grade 3. Grade 1, loosen, we are just applying small amplitude distraction. Grade 2, we are applying large amplitude distraction, and we are taking up the slack, we are tightening the capsule, and after tightening it, we are again stretching it. So this was the 3 grades of mobilization of Kelton-Bourne. Again, when we talk about the Kelton-Bourne mobilization grades, the second grade is supposed to be given as an initial treatment. And after the initial treatment, we usually monitor the patient response to the mobilization, and if the patient condition improves, we progress to the grade 3, or maybe we stay at the grade 2. That depends upon actually the patient reaction. Or if the patient condition worsen, we regress to the grade 1. We move towards the grade 1, we don't progress, or we move towards the grade 1 and 2 oscillations of the Maitland. So this was the concept of Kelton-Bourne. The last concept of mobilization, that is an important concept, that is called as mobilization with movement, and it is a very simple concept to understand. It has 2 components. The first component is mobilization, into which a therapist is applying joint gliding techniques onto the joint using joint plane movements. In the Mulligan concept, we particularly go for sustained glides. We go for sustained glides, not oscillations, while the patient tries to move the joint to an active range of motion. For example, if we are trying to improve the shoulder range of motion to the patient, particularly of shoulder flexion, then the therapist will apply the posterior glide to the patient joint capsule, while the patient tries to actively move the shoulder into the flexion. Or if the patient is not able to move himself, then another therapist may assist it. So this was all about the concept of mobilization with movement. So we are done with the 3 concepts of mobilization. If you have any question, you can ask me in comment section. Thank you so much.